好，跳出来了。我把摄像头打开。
咱是不是都得打开？
Hello, Professor Ali Riza. We are Team 2 for the PRO690 course Project 2. This recorded video is for our Project 2, our course PRO690. Our project topic is Azure DevOps service in project process. According to the story and the requirement, we use the Azure DevOps as our solution platform to solve the task and the requirement. But DevOps is an influence the application lifecycle through its plan, develop, deliver, and operate phases. Each phase relies on the others, and the phases are not role specific. In a true DevOps culture, each role is involved in each phase to some extent. It can help teams to finish the collaboration, workflow, security, and the compliance, and the continuing improvement as a cycle. And we will separate 3 parts in our presentation. First is solution and design diagram, introduction, and then is automation process by show our solution on the Azure DevOps platform. The last part is Q&A to answer the questions. First, our solution and the solution will be involved the schedule and plan, auto CI/CD, and the reporting analytics. First, during the research, we find some tools and platforms can be used in our project, similar as Terraform, which can control and manage the multiple cloud and help engineer to manage the multiple environment infrastructure as a command line easily. But in our project, in our solution, we choose the Azure Cloud, and we are involved the SQL database, virtual machines, and the application service. And we also find the Jenkins and also find the Kubernetes can manage the multiple environment containers like Dockers easily. And the Graphana can be used to collect data and show graph clearly and easily. The process is monitor tools can help operators easily to find the issues and bugs. Jenkins is the same as Azure DevOps, can do the CI/CD automatically. The developer engineer will use the Git to push and pull code to the GitHub or Azure Repository. The GitHub and the Azure Repository is the similar tools. But in our solution, we choose the Microsoft platform. It's easy to manage and control. So we choose the Azure Cloud, Azure DevOps, and the Azure Web Applications to do the whole project. In the Azure DevOps, we will involve the Azure Boards, Azure DevOps pipelines, and Azure Repository functions. We also know that Terraform is HashiCorp's infrastructure as code tool can manage infrastructure on multiple cloud platforms and can help us write infrastructure code quickly. The Kubernetes also been named K8s, because it's the same pronunciations. It's an open source system for automating the deployment, scaling, and management of containerized applications. Kubernetes provides us with a framework to run distributed system resiliently. It takes care of scaling and failover for our application, provides deployment patterns, and more. We can use Kubernetes to manage the containers we use in the CI/CD automation process. Go back to our solution. This is our design diagram. We have the project manager to make the schedule and plan on the Azure boards, and also can assign the task to the developer and the tester. They are all team members. The engineer will use Visual Studio Code to create a web page or modify the web page. Use the Git to pull and push their code to the Azure Repository. And then when the files be modified in the Azure Repository, the Azure DevOps pipeline function will run CI and CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment tasks automatically. And during this cycle, Azure DevOps has the monitor and notification functions. When the task be finished or failed, it will send the email to the special staffs like project manager or operators to know the warning or result, the task result. And after the application service deployment, all code will be deployed on the Azure Cloud virtual machines. We created the Azure Web Application Service, and the website contents of the website will be updated automatically. Leon will describe the details of each parts.
Hi, Professor. I'm Leon. Next, let me introduce the every parts with detail. First, I will introduce the Azure Boards. Azure Boards is a very important project management tools. With the Azure Boards web service, and the teams can manage their software projects. Azure Boards can help us quickly plan, manage, and track work across our entire team. We can focus the work items. The work items are the workhorse of modern projects. The team can use various work items to set up the plan of the project. The project manager can assign the different work items to the different developers to manage the whole project. And in the backlog and boards, we can view can provide similar and distinct features to support the planning and tracking. And in the sprints, it can contain information team successfully plan and complete. work within the time allotted. So the sprint can be used to for the time management. And this is in our project. In the right picture shows the different tasks we created, and we can assign the different tasks to the different team members. You can see we have assigned some tasks to me and some tasks to the Rogers, and there is some tasks we have assigned. We can assign these tasks later. And in the left pictures, it's about the boards. We can see these tasks in the different phases. We can see there is some tasks we will do, and some tasks we have done. And there is some tasks we are doing. And in this slide, we can see in the right picture, we can see is a black laws. In here, we can see the different tasks, and in the right, we can see the sprint, different sprint. And in the left bottom pictures, it's about the sprint. So we can see the different tasks under this sprint. And in the left top picture, this is analytics about the project process. The green graph can show the tasks have finished, and the blue graph can show the tasks which is in process, and the green graphs can show the tasks we need to do in the future. Next picture, next slide. Oh, sorry. Okay, in this slide is about the IDE and the Git. The IDE is a integrated development environment, is a software for building applications that combines common developer tools into a single graphical user interface. The developer can choose the IDE whatever they want to write and debug their code. In our project, we use Visual Studio Code. You also can use the Eclipse Intelli IDE, for example. And next is about the Git system. The Git is a distributed version control system, and the Git repository can live locally. Each developer has a copy of the source repository on their dev machine. Developers can commit each set of changes on their dev machine and perform version control operations such as history and compared without a network connection. Git is a very useful tools for the project which have a lot of developers to enroll in this project, because the developers, every developer can create the new branch in their local machine, and when they finish or fix some bugs or finish a new feature, they can push this branch to the remote repository. If there is no conflict with the main branch, then we can merge the new branch to the main branch. And here is a Git Workflow example. The first step, we can create a branch for the changes you plan to make and name it. And the second, we can commit changes to this branch. And then we can push this branch to the remote repository and then create a pull request so other people can review these changes. At last, we can complete the pull request and resolve some merge conflicts from the changes other people made after you created your branch. This is our project. You can see in the right picture, we use the Visual Studio Code to coding and debug our project. And in the left picture, this is the branches for our project. We can see there is different branches. For example, in the test 3 is created by the Leon. And there is then when we make a pull request to the main branch, and user can merge the branch to this to the main branch. And next is about the Azure Repository. Azure Repository is the same like the GitHub. Azure Repository are a set of repositories that allow us to version control and manage our project source code. It will help to work and coordinate code changes across our teams. It also can let us to monitor code solution build and commits, pull request, and branch information about the projects. Azure Repository can commit changes to a branch, and that will not affect other branches. And the developer can also create a connection between the branch from the Azure repositories and the work items from the Azure boards. So this is why we use the Azure platform to do our whole project, because there is some functions we can connect together. So it is very convenient to track the work for the project manager. So you can see in the left picture, we choose the Azure Reports to store the source code, and the different developers can create the different branches to do their work. And in the right picture, you can see we can create a branch in the Azure repositories, and we can connect the new branch to our work items. So when we down this branch and push it to the main branch, then the related work items will show this work I have done. And next is about the continuous integration. Continuous integration is a software engineering practice where members of a team integrate their work with increasingly frequency. As you know, from now, there is a lot of requirements and ask the developer to create the to write the code quickly and to integrate this code to the project frequency integrate. So now we often use continuous integration to solve this problem. Successful CI means new code changes to an app are regularly built, tested, and merged to a shared repository. It's a solution to the problem of having too many branches of an app in development at once that might conflict with each other. As you see in the icons, the Azure DevOps pipeline and the Jenkins. So we also can use the Jenkins in CI process. Jenkins is a Java-based open source continuous integration server that allows teams to continuously build application across platform. But in our project, we use the Azure pipeline to create a build pipe for the CI process. As you can see in the left picture, this is we created the pipeline for our project. In our project, we choose the classic editor to create a CI pipeline. And next is a continuous development. Continuous delivery is to package and development what CI is to build and test. So this process is after the CI process. The teams practicing CD can build, configure, and packaging software and orchestrate its deployment in such a way that it can be released to production in a software-defined manner. Continuous deployment can refer to automatically releasing a developer's changes from the repository to production, where it is used by customers. And in the left picture, you can see in here we create a release pipeline, and in the artifact we set a connection between the CI process and the CD process. In here we can treat after when the CI process finished, we can trigger the CD process. And in the right picture, you can see here we can set the continuous deployment trigger when you set here enable, and we also can set the pull request trigger enable. And in this slide, in the left picture, we can see because we have some access problem with a Seneca student account, so we can't deploy the CD process here because we have enough access. And in the right picture, you hear if we have the access, we can set the deployment conditions in these functions. We can set some notification. CI/CD, the high functioning CI/CD practices directly facilitate Android development because software change reaches production more frequently. As a result, customers have more opportunity to experience and provide feedback on the change. And at last, we also can set the monitor and the notification in the project setting. You can see we can input the project manager email and set some notification. And in the right picture, we can say the different kinds of the notification to this project. And for example, we can set we can set some special colleagues to do some work after our publish finished.
Now, let me show our solutions first before the Q&A part. Here, first is you can see this is the Graphana. We can this is my another project. Use it. I use the Graphana platform to do the graph when I collect the data from the database. It's friendly and convenient to let client know the status of the. For example, this is for the solar panel, so we can let user or client to know the status of the solar panel according the graph. It's easy to understand. I'll go back to our solution. We use the Azure Cloud and created the application service, and also use the Azure DevOps. First, we can set the project set. In the project setting, we can set the permission. In here, you can see Leon and me are in the teams. We also setting the different rules. Leon is as a project manager, and I'm the tester. Leon also involved the developer role. In the notification, we can set the notification according each cases, each actions. Currently, you can see I received the notification when we finished one PRO or let me show you. For example, here you can see this notification was sent to our here. Sorry, here you can see the notification for like Leon completed the pull request. It will send the notification to me. And then in the repository, we also can setting special email address to receive the notification according to cases. Now let's go back to the project. In the Blackboard, we can see the status like welcome task created task. Some task was complete, some task was still in process, and the members, team members. This is the summary and dashboard. I haven't done it because of the access issue for the Seneca account. And this is a work item. We have the task to assign was assigned to someone like Leon and me, and some tasks in here we are completed tasks. Also, the following assigned to me. Here you can see I still have 3 tasks I need to do, and some my activity. Some tasks need to be assigned. Some tasks was still in the process. Here in the boards, we can see the all tasks. Some are finished, some were finished, some are still in the process, some need to be assigned. And we can get the analytics report in the last 15 days. You can see the green color shows the 3 tasks were finished. the blue color shows the we still have 3 tasks in the process, and 6 task items need to be assigned, need to be done, needed to do. In the blocks, we have the 9 work items needed to do. Some were assigned, some haven't assigned. And in the sprint, we have the 3 sprints to finish the task. Here, you can see we finished the sprint first, and the sprint second is from August 9th to August 15th, and the third round is from next week, August 16th to August 22nd. And we can see the capacity setting here. Leon need to focus on development, and the capacity per day is 5 per capacity per day. And also, how do you say, have 1 day off. In here, we can see the workload. Like Leon was assigned to do the 20 hours in this cycle, and me was assigned to do 15 hours. Some tasks were assigned to me, and status was done, was complete. Some is still in process, similar as that. And here, this function repository, our code, project code was uploaded to here, and we have some branch like me and the Leon's. Also, we finished the pull request here. You can see here I complete, and also ask Leo create the pull request, and I recorded some feedback and completed approved the pull request. Also can add some suggestions, remark as here. This is a part of the version control and the verification. In the pipeline, it can be done to CI/CD part. First is pipeline's CI part. Similar here, we created the CI pipeline. Because of this is a React website project, so we used the npm install as the first and build it. Previously, I inserted some debugging part in this CI command, CI task. So when I finish it, I also can use it to disable temporarily. After the command complete, it will archive the files to here, archive this folder to here, and finish this CI task. And history, I finished it. Also, if I need to create a new one, I can create a new pipeline and use the classic editor to choose the Azure DevOps, choose the project. We have 2 projects here. Only one is enable activity, so web app and the master branch. And you choose the node as the template. It's easy to create remove some tasks we didn't use yet, and create a new one, like customers, like run build, and archive and finish it. Oh, sorry, I need to change the name. It's CI. This is web app develop. Okay, and save the query. So no commands, save and run it. You can see clean up after 1 month. Get the last resource version part host on used. Whatever it's so it will show the arrow no matter. We can edit it later. You can see it works or not, but previously I also create another one. It will not run it. It will stay in the history. So if it's error, I will receive the notification here. This is what I want to show you. And then this is the release to create a CD pipeline. Here first, choose the Azure Application Service Deployment and create the artifacts. Like we have the CI1 and create it, setting the trigger. But because of the authorization issue of our Seneca account, I cannot do continually. If it fix the bug or issue in the next semester, I think a student can do it continually. If it works, we can select our application service on the Azure Cloud, like PRO690 WACAC01. And after we choose it and save to run it, our updated code will push and deployed to the web server, and the website will be updated automatically after the pipeline finished. If we can set in the release pipeline, we also can add some further actions after the release complete. For example, the schedule to call other task to be started, to start, or send some special email to special staff or colleagues, let them know the task was complete, or some other status like issue or warning something else. For example, the project manager only needs to know the whole status. Some alert or warning email will be sent to the operators, similar as that. So this is for that function. That's all. Let's go back to our presentation, and this is our Q&A part. In the 3:30, we will have the real presentation. At that time, we will have the Q&A part, and the processor, you can ask the question to our team, and we will answer the questions clearly. Thank you for your time. And that's all. That's our solution and the presentation. Thank you all. Leo, do you have any other need to be mentioned? and the update.
This is our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me stop the record.